everybody, it's Molly from the Feed team, and today we are going to be celebrating all things British cuisine with our friends at Food is Great. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a dark chocolate stout cake with a whiskey glaze. Beer has obviously been brewed for centuries in the UK. Stout is a very popular variety, and the one we're going to be using today, it has organic chocolate malt and also organic cocoa powder, which is really just going to intensify that richness and all of those beautiful chocolate flavors. So let's go through our ingredients. We have some all-purpose flour, a kosher salt, and a little bit of leavener in here. We have some vanilla extract, some cocoa powder, and then for the wet ingredients, we have some canola oil, we have this delicious chocolate stout, some granulated sugar, some eggs, sour cream, and then we're gonna fold in some dark chocolate. This Samuel Smith organic chocolate stout is made in Yorkshire at one of the oldest breweries there. It has this amazing sort of like malted chocolate flavor. It's so delicious, and it's gonna add a really nice richness to our cake. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is just sift together our dry ingredients. So we have our flour, cocoa powder, and then just our kosher salt and our leaveners. So whenever you're baking with cocoa powder, I mean, really any cake, you should definitely sift your dry ingredients, but cocoa powder, super important because you're gonna see we have sort of these clumps forming. And you want to just make sure that you break those down. I usually just use my fingers to kind of push them through the sieve. And then we'll just give this a quick whisk and set it aside while we work on our wet ingredients. All right, so now we'll just put our wet ingredients together. We have our eggs, sugar, that amazing stout, some canola oil, vanilla extract, a little bit of sour cream, which always adds a really nice moisture and richness to a cake. We'll just whisk this all until it's really well combined, and then we'll just toss it with our dry ingredients and pop it in the oven. Okay, so we have our dry ingredients here. I'm just going to add that wet mixture in again. Could not be easier to put this cake together. It's sort of like my favorite way to make a cake, just oil-based, super simple. And we're just gonna whisk this batter together. You don't want to over whisk because then you sort of run the risk of a tough cake because you'll be developing gluten, but you also wanna just make sure that everything is sort of well incorporated. So we will start with a whisk and then add in that dark chocolate and just fold everything through with a spatula, and we are ready to pop this in the oven. So I have a 9x5 loaf pan that I just really lightly oiled, and we're just going to spoon all of this batter in here, and we're gonna pop it in a 350-degree oven for about 55 minutes. I can already smell those delicious chocolate malted flavors. So while our cake is in the oven, I'm gonna quickly put together our whiskey glaze. So I have 3/4 a cup of powdered sugar, just a pinch of kosher salt in there to balance everything out. I'm gonna be using Penderyn, which is a Welsh single malt whiskey. It has these amazing cream toffee notes, some rich fruit flavors, and it's gonna make the perfect glaze for our cake. And then just a little touch of vanilla extract. And we'll just whisk this together until we kind of get that nice drippy glaze consistency, and this is looking perfect. If it's too thin for your liking, you can always add a little more powdered sugar, and if it's too thick, you can add just a touch more whiskey. So I'll just set this aside until we are ready to adorn our cake. So our cake is out of the oven. The only thing left to do is add this glaze. Oof, looks so good. I'm just gonna take a little offset and just smooth this out a little, and then we will cut a slice. Okay, so our cake is done. We added that glaze, so good. I'm gonna take a bite. So good. You sort of get that like nice malted flavor, the rich dark chocolate, paired with the glaze. Like the best part about the glaze is it's not too sweet because you get those really, really nice notes from the whiskey. We actually have an amazing London Fog recipe coming out made with a Deanston whiskey and some Earl Grey tea, which would be the perfect pairing for this rich chocolate cake. So good, could not be easier. Bake this soon. You can get the recipe on thefeedfeed.com, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.